Head of UN Gaza inquiry resigns after Israeli claims of bias. Jordanian ambassador returns to Tel Aviv as Temple Mount tensions ease. Hamas supporters protest Egypt's decision to ban its armed wing. And a massive flock of starlings form a spectacular sight in Israel's skies. Shalom and welcome to the Jerusalem Post News. Here are the top stories for February 3rd. William Shabas announced yesterday that he would resign from his post as head of a UN Human Rights Council probe into the 2014 Gaza war. The Canadian legal expert's decision came after Israel charged that he had worked as a PLO consultant in 2012. Shabas said he would step down immediately to prevent the issue from overshadowing the preparation of the report, which is due to be published in March. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu responded to the decision today, saying that the probe itself should also be discarded. Jordan returned its ambassador to Israel yesterday, 3 months after recalling him to protest what it called Israeli aggression on the Temple Mount.
We have asked our ambassador in Israel to return to his position in Tel Aviv. We have done this because we felt that in the last period of time there has been significant improvements in the Haram al-Sharif, and the status quo has been maintained and worshippers have been allowed to worship freely as we demanded months ago. We continue to emphasize the importance of maintaining the status quo in al-Haram al-Sharif, and we felt that there has been improvement in the last period. That's why we asked our ambassador to return to his post.
The timing of the return of the ambassador, just as Jordan's King Abdullah flew to the US to meet with officials and members of Congress, raised speculation that the two events were related and that Abdullah sought to avoid criticism in Washington. Netanyahu swiftly praised the move.
אני מברך על ההחלטה להחזיר את שגריר ירדן לישראל. זו החלטה חשובה. היא מבטאת את האינטרסים החיוניים שמשותפים לירדן ולישראל, ובראשם היציבות, הביטחון והשלום.
Hundreds of Hamas supporters demonstrated yesterday against an Egyptian court decision to ban Hamas's armed wing and to list it as a terror organization.
هذه المسيرات إنما تعبر عن الشجب القاطع والرفض الحاسم للقرار القضائي المصري باعتبار كتائب القسام منظمة إرهابية، وتدعو مصر إلى السحب الفوري لهذا القرار المسيس والخطير والذي يشكل خدمة مجانية للعدو الصهيوني، ولنؤكد على أن بوصلة القسام ستبقى متجهة فقط نحو العدو الصهيوني، ونتمنى لمصر الأمن والاستقرار.
An Egyptian court banned the Qassam brigades on Saturday in keeping with a systematic crackdown on Islamists by President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi. A source close to Hamas's armed wing signaled the group would no longer accept Egypt as a broker between Hamas and Israel. And a flock of synchronized starlings made for a spectacular sight in the skies of southern Israel yesterday. The murmuration, a phenomenon when the synchronized flyover creates what appears to be a black cloud that randomly changes direction and form, took place near the Bedouin town of Rahat. After a long absence of some 20 years, short-distance migrant starlings started to return to Israel in 2012. And that's it for today. We'll be back tomorrow with more news from Israel. Until then, shalom from the Jerusalem Post studios.